Do you want to improve at a quicker pace? Check out the GitGud Course. Instead of just understanding concepts, you'll learn how to implement them directly into your driving. What makes it effective is the approach and practical drills. Together, we're gonna focus on breaking down those complex concepts into small digestible bits that are simple to understand. Everything from the course was tested and refined during the years in coaching sessions, so what I ended up with was the ones that I saw were the most effective. Let's elevate your racing skills together. Now for the track guide. Before starting, if you like this video, if you learned something out of it, feel free to give it a like or even subscribe to the channel. It will help me a lot with the YouTube algorithm. Now going into the track guide itself, this was a bit of a messy lap. I think there's half a second in it, but I will point the details where we go. Now in turn 1, what I'm using here as a reference for turning in is this dirt part on the left side. So as you can see here, there's a bit of dirt near the grass around this point. Whenever I'm going past the first part, I'm turning into the corner and I'm applying a bit of the brakes, so it's turning and braking almost at the same time. You really want to take this white and red curb and get closer to the wall. That's gonna be key. Immediately after, you're gonna go back on power. The later you turn, the better it's gonna be in this corner. So you will try to apex later, because if you turn just a bit too early, you will experience this on the exit. You see a lot of steering angle and having to drop the throttle. Not ideal, the car is understeering at this point. So I'm trying my best to keep it on track, and I even go on this dirt part here and still not on off track. I was amazed that this was not an off track, but this is not a good approach. You have to turn a bit later, so try to play around with your turning points, because the turning point will make you gain or lose a lot of time into this corner. Now going into the next one, go all the way to the right side, and before going downhill you have to brake. So I'm braking here whenever I can almost brake on a straight level surface without having too much elevation. So I'm braking here in 4th gear, just barely brushing the brakes and instantly turning, because I want to apex around here. You see this is this shape in the grass where the grass is cut. You really want to get close here and then put the throttle down. You will go a bit more into the center left. You will still keep a tight line, and then you will apex again on this beginning of the grass. This is gonna be key. So it's brake, then quickly go back on throttle, and here I'm just modulating the throttle so I won't go wide, so giving a bit of a small drop and then pick it back again. You don't want to touch the red and white curb on the outside. You won't have enough time to reposition for the next corner if you touch it here. So really you have to avoid it. If you see that the car is going all the way to the outside of the track, then you have to drop the throttle. You don't want to use all the track in this corner, because there's not enough time to reposition here. Now we want to go all the way to the left side, almost touching the grass, almost feeling the grass on our left tires. And the moment that we reposition, we're gonna brake. We will be probably in 5th gear, so we have to downshift to 4th initially. And now this is a long corner. Because it's a long corner, you have to trail brake a lot. So you have to remind yourself that you don't want to touch this inside curb early enough, because you will have a wide exit. Again, it's same as turn 1, late apex, and you will have a nice exit. But I'm not using this curb at all. Actually, I'm apexing around the white line. So what I'm doing here, still on the brake, still braking, still trailing, not yet committing turn the car. So right now I'm just following through in 3rd gear now, and now I'm starting to commit to the corner, and now I'm asking more from the steering angle, and I'm putting the throttle. I'm apexing, you see, very closely near the curb, but never I'm touching it. That's gonna be very important. On the exit you will get close to this curb. That's perfectly fine. I tried another line in which I'm not getting that close to the curb. I'm more in the center left. That line can work as well. I think they're the same in terms of lap time. Now for this corner you have to turn before the bridge, so I'm already starting to turn and barely brushing the brakes, 8%, 6%, something like this, immediately putting back the throttle. I'm trying to cut right now because I want to be all the way to the left side before the uphill braking zone, so I want to be all the way here. So you have to cut a bit this part. This is a bit bumpy, but it's okay, you can cut it like this. You can also do a small lift, and right now I'm applying the brakes. I'm trying to brake almost in a straight line, even though it's not possible. But initially, whenever I'm peaking, I'm trying to go in a straight line, then following this curve. The problem though here for me was that I braked way too hard, and I found myself here needing to give a blimp of throttle like this. So this is not ideal. You should be at this point, you should be back on power like I'm doing, but without the first touch on the throttle that I had earlier. So if you find yourself at this point in time needing to feed some throttle, you were way too slow on entry. So you have to brake less. This was by mistake. I think there's 2/10 in this corner. If you just brake a bit softer but for longer, you go all the way to the left side, and then here you don't want to go on top of the right curb, just want to apex around it, but use all this part. This is going to be key. Arriving here and even touch the grass on this part, this is going to be crucial because you will carry a lot more speed and you will be earlier on throttle. It's going to be a lot easier to extract more out of the car. Now for the next corner, right now, the reference for braking will be a bit tough, but I think you can use this. Actually, it's a bit tough to use anything. In my case, I'm doing mostly on feel, so I'm judging the distance between this corner. So whenever I feel like the distance is right, I'm applying the brakes. I want to go close to this red and white curb. I miss it in this attempt, but you have to be a bit closer. Then let the car track out more towards the left and then cut it again. So it's basically a double apex corner. You want to be a bit closer to the curb than what I am right now. You see, I'm going around it. I'm traveling a longer distance and I'm not really gaining that much because of it. So you want to stay a bit tighter in this section. Now for the next one, immediately after you straighten up the car, you have your steering wheel straight, you are all the way to the right side. You're gonna brake and turn at the same time. Downshifting to third, and here, super important, don't go on top of this curb. If you mount this curb, the car will jump forward and you will be more on the right side. The idea is to be on the left, so you have to avoid it. Just go around it with a trail brake, picking up the throttle, and right now there's a bit of track on the left side of the white line. You have to use it. So you want to open up as much as you can this corner, because this leads to a big straight, and also because turn one, it's a small brake and then going on power. If you mess up this corner, it will compound in turn one as well. So use this part, trail brake, don't brake too hard, trail brake in lower percentages, and immediately be back on power. Don't touch the curb on the outside, just apex around it, keep it flat, use this part of the track, and in short, that's a track guide of Canadian Tire Park with the GT4. If you want to accelerate progress, if you want to learn more, you can check my sim racing course in the video description. But anyways, I think and I hope this was helpful. This is not like the best lap I could do here. There's a lot more time in it, but I try to point out the mistakes wherever they appeared. Anyways, thanks for watching, thanks for sticking around, and looking forward to see you in the next track guide. Bye bye!